Hi, everyone. David DeLuke again, Senior Storage Solutions Architect at AWS. That was great, Louise. Thank you so much for the information on AWS Transfer Family. I'm joined now live in the studio in Seattle with Jeff Bartley, who is the Principal Product Manager for AWS DataSync, and he and I are going to chat through how to accelerate data migrations. Hi,
Thank,
Jeff.
thanks for having me, Dave. Great to be here. Great, excited to
Absolutely.
talk about DataSync.
So throughout the afternoon, we've heard quite a bit about what's new with AWS storage services, information about security and resiliency, and why and how AWS storage can optimize costs. But before all that greatness, the first thing we have to do is actually migrate the data to the cloud. So to start us off, can you share a little bit about what AWS DataSync does and how it supports the migration journey for customers?
Absolutely, Dave. So, a first step to really gaining insights from your data is actually making that data available and accessible. So, AWS DataSync was built to help our customers move their data where it needs to be. So, it's a secure managed service that helps our customers accelerate data movement to and from storage services. And it removes a lot of that heavy lifting around migrating and moving data, things like writing your own scripts or having to manage tools to move data. You've probably done that in a past life. It's a lot of work, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you're never quite sure if it completed properly.
You are. So there's all kinds of challenges, and DataSync was really built to address those challenges. And using DataSync, you can access data from a wide variety of locations, things like on-premises storage, storage in other clouds, edge locations, and you can move that data to and from AWS storage to help accelerate things like your business workflows or your data analysis, data analytics.
Yep.
And it enables you to easily manage data movement workloads with things like bandwidth throttling, migration scheduling, and task filtering. Now, you mentioned migration. That's one of the key use cases for DataSync, but we also have customers using it to replicate their data into AWS, as well as to archive data into things like S3 Glacier or Glacier Deep Archive, where they can get that high durability but the low cost, right? So, DataSync helps you simplify your migration planning, reduce costs typically associated with moving your data.
Yep. And we heard from Andy about announcements around DataSync and the ability to move data to and from AWS and other cloud providers. Can you give us some more information about these announcements?
Absolutely. So excited to talk about that. But before I go there, I just want to talk a little bit more about those locations that I was talking about, right?
Sure.
So one of the things DataSync can do is it can move data to and from on-premises locations. So think things like NFS servers, Windows servers, NAS filers, anything that talks NFS or SMB protocol, common file sharing protocols.
Sure.
DataSync also supports Hadoop clusters, as well as object storage locations that speak the S3 API.
Mhm.
And then we also support things like edge locations with devices like AWS Snowcone, which is a small form factor ruggedized device that helps customers do both storage and compute at the edge. And then in addition to that, we also support moving data to and from other clouds, like we mentioned as part of the launch today.
Yep. So the movement to and from other cloud providers, or a multi-cloud data movement, is interesting. Can you share a little bit more detail about why this is so important for our customers?
Absolutely. So, for a variety of reasons, some customers end up in a situation where they need to manage their IT resources in a multi-cloud environment. A customer may have acquired some other company that's running in a different cloud other than AWS, or maybe they have data that lives in another cloud, but their processing, their analytics, their AI/ML processing is being done in AWS, and they need to move that data in. For a variety of reasons, customers end up in this situation, right? But when they do, it's often complex to operate in that kind of environment. You can think about the various tools you need to use, or the different solutions that you need to deploy to just manage your data, to monitor the health of your applications, and then to move data to and from other clouds. It gets really complex.
Absolutely.
And so, at AWS, we want to help customers with these challenges, and we've been extending our cloud services to help customers manage and govern their resources in these hybrid and multi-cloud environments. And DataSync is one of those services. And so, for customers who are running in that multi-cloud environment, DataSync can now move data to and from an expanded set of cloud providers. So we support Google Cloud Storage, Azure Files, Azure Blob Storage, and then today what we announced was support for moving data to and from Wasabi Cloud, Oracle Cloud Storage, Cloudflare, DigitalOcean, and Backblaze. So pretty cool array of clouds to help these customers in that multi-cloud environment.
Yeah, that's an amazing announcement, particularly in the past where DataSync was purely, like you said, on-prem or AWS to AWS service. So it's kind of the next logical step.
Yep, giving our customers more flexibility, absolutely.
So can you share any specific customer examples and any innovative use cases that you've seen?
Absolutely, yeah. So I work with a lot of customers in this kind of situation, particularly in the healthcare and life sciences space, where they need to move, they need to access data sets from like third parties or maybe public data sets that are often located on other clouds. You can think of things like genome sequencing data sets or maybe medical imaging data, for example. And these customers, they operate in AWS using our compute and analytics type capabilities, but these data sets reside in other clouds, and their researchers need to pull this data into AWS so they can include it in the work that they're doing. And and these researchers, right, their job is not to figure out how to move data, right? They want to focus on the work that they need to do. And so they're looking for simple, fast, easy, secure ways to move these data sets, which can sometimes be large, right? They could be in the tens or hundreds of terabytes or even millions of files.
Absolutely.
And so DataSync helps them, makes it easy for them, freeing up these researchers to focus on their work. And they can provide customers, and DataSync provides customers with this online data movement solution that can help them transfer the data across clouds and unblock their use cases with minimal disruption. And so an important aspect to this process is the ability to quickly identify data to be migrated. And having a streamlined migration process can be a big help to customers in this kind of situation.
Yeah, as you said, because I work a lot with higher education, the last thing that a researcher wants to do is become an IT person, right? They want to just focus on their actual work, and they want to know the data got there securely and efficiently.
Absolutely.
So it makes a lot of sense. So, and we've heard quite a bit about cost optimization throughout the day. So can DataSync support cost savings efforts, and what are your thoughts around what's driving the motivation for customers to migrate to cloud?
That's a great question, Dave. So, we've seen consistent themes driving customers' motivation to move to AWS. Performance and security in some cases. And some of these are also heightened by the economic climate, like customers search to optimize costs. So DataSync Discovery is a capability that we recently launched. And DataSync Discovery gives customers visibility into their on-premises storage performance and utilization, and it provides recommendations for migrating their data to AWS storage services. And Discovery helps customers better understand their on-premises storage performance and capacity usage. We help them automate data collection and then perform analysis on that data to really give them recommendations that are cost optimized for moving into AWS. And then it helps them to align, to pick the storage services that they need to align to their performance and their capacity needs.
And I think that is particularly important too, because so many customers, I think, have a lot of questions about, is the move worth it? How do I get there? It's once you can get past that initial hurdle, it's so much easier to see the business value.
Absolutely.
Jeff, this has been a great conversation, and where can our viewers go to learn more?
Yeah, so our DataSync webpage has a wealth of information, blogs, videos, tutorials, etc. If you click on that QR code, that'll take you right to it.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your time, Jeff.
Absolutely. It's been great.